Hello everyone, welcome to the first lecture of CrPC. So today we are going to start with our sections, and first of all I want to tell you that CrPC is also called as the lawyer's law. It came into force on April 1st, 1974, and a new draft has been introduced in the parliament in the name of Bharatiya Suraksha Nyaya Sanhita, which we'll see how the outcomes come in the future. So for what is the objective, what is the need to study CrPC? So when a criminal offense takes place in the society, it not only affects one person, one institution, or one set of people in the society, it affects the entire nation, and above that it also affects the entire world. So when the Nirbhaya case happened, when some kind of scams happened, when the Manipur case happened, people not only of the Manipur were affected by it, but the entire society at large were disturbed by such cases. So to bring everything into peace, to maintain the human sanctity, to maintain the human conscience, to bring the minds of the people at peace, some actions has to be taken. So these actions are taken by the court by punishing the offenders. Like I also told in my last video, that substantive laws are inoperative. They cannot be operated on their own. They are just penalizing laws, and they describe the offenses. So the conduct of the offenses could be matched with the penalizing offenses, and then action could be taken by the criminal procedure code. And as we all know, a due process of law is always followed when cases are tried. So CrPC holds such an important value in the criminal field. And there's an important saying that empty threats do not deter. So if in a classroom full of students, a teacher keeps telling the student that okay, if you do this I'll punish you, but they never punish the student who disobey the teacher, the students become very courageous with their mischief, and they would never stop making mistakes. So to bring to maintain a discipline in the classroom, so I'm just taking an example, some kind of action has to be taken, but in the society, but in the when the offenses are bigger, when the offenses are not just little mischief, when they affect the entire mindset of the society, deterrent effects has to be taken. And now we start with the first section, that is the Territorial Extent of Criminal Procedure Code. So it extends to whole of India. Earlier, Jammu and Kashmir were not included, but by the Act of 2019, they are also included. And there is some exclusivity that is mentioned in the Act, that is State of Nagaland and some tribal areas which are excluded from the application of the CrPC. So we always, as a student also, I used to skip this section, and I just used to memorize it, and never focused on why such exclusivity is there when we are a conjoined one whole nation. So what happened was, keeping in mind the situation of Nagaland and all these tribal areas, these people were not accustomed with the procedure or the intricacies that is followed, the complexity of the court cases. It is not that they do not follow a procedure or they do not have any system within themselves. They have a system, and it is very much similar to what we follow in our courts, but it is not codified in this manner. And even the state government has the power that they can use any part or even the whole of the the code, criminal procedure code, whenever they feel like a necessity is there. But it is not mentioned because they have a different set of procedure which they have been following from time immemorial. And if you have also noticed, section 8, I'm very sorry, chapter 8 chapter 10, chapter 11 of the criminal procedure code is applicable for them. So chapter 8, if you have seen, talks about security for keeping peace and security for good behavior, maintenance of public order and tranquility, preventive action of police. All these chapters are applicable even for the state of Nagaland and the tribal areas. So the tribal areas are areas which were included in the 6th schedule before 21st January 1972. And if you go deeper, these chapters very much talks about, you know, the fundamental rights, DPSP of the constitution. So these chapters are included in the, you know, in the functionaries of the state of Nagaland and the tribal area. And if you have also noticed or read, 3 words which is supplemental, incidental and consequential are used in section 1. So what does it mean? So first we're talking about supplemental. Supplement means adding something to which is already there, so in addition to. Incidental means which occurs on its own or is a part of. Okay, so if something is happening and as a part of it something else occurred. And consequential, as you all know, by some ancillarily or in consequence to some action something takes place. So in these manners also, criminal procedure code, a part of it or even the whole of it, can be brought into action in these state of Nagaland and the tribal area. As we were talking about the substantive laws, not only IPC but other substantive laws are also firstly investigated, inquired and then tried in the manner that is prescribed in the code, okay, CrPC code. And there are also different kinds of laws, namely local law, special law. They are mentioned under section 41 and 42 of IPC. And for the special law, CrPC is not followed. Special law itself gives guidelines for its procedure, and some of the names of certain special laws are Foreign Exchange Act, okay, and Narcotics, Drug and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. So these are some examples of special act, and they also mention the procedure with which they have to be tried, okay, and investigated and inquired and all of these things. And they are given under section 4 and 5 of the CrPC. And this I would like to take leave with my first lecture. So we will meet soon, maybe tomorrow, for the next class, and then we'll start with the definitions. We will be reading cognizable and non-cognizable offenses, summary cases and warrant cases. So if you get time, please do read and then come, so we can have a very healthy discussion on all these topics. Until then, take care, goodbye. It was a great time teaching you all. Thank you.